So a big one also is to understand the unhappy chemical. We don't have that much time, but very quickly, when you have something, you fear losing it. And that's something else that can ruin your enjoyment of what you have. So all of my books explain that disappointment is cortisol. And cortisol is widely known as the stress chemical, but it's also the chemical that, the fight or flight chemical, that animal feels like it's about to be attacked. So then if you're always wanting more, but then when you don't get the more that you strive for, you trigger cortisol, that like supercharges, it makes it all feel like, yeah. I had a great example. Someone yesterday in a webinar said, I was motivated to achieve a certain grade on a certain test. And when I achieved it, then I wanted to get a higher grade on that test. So this is the treadmill feeling, because your brain said, well, achieving that goal felt good. So therefore I have to redouble that goal, because that's the way my brain knows to feel good. So every time you're wanting to feel good is to stop and analyze, and then give it to yourself in another way. And every time you're feeling bad, to see how you're fearing disappointment and give it to yourself another way.
I'm so glad you mentioned that. I know we're getting to the very end of the show here, but that was just critical what you just said, because I feel like that's a very common issue right now, that people, it's never enough. Either you need more followers, more money, more this, more that. It's just the target just keeps moving in front of you. And like you said, no one has it better, because even if you're a super megastar, you're always looking for that next million, whatever,
And
right?
then you're worried about losing the million you have.
Yes. So, am I understanding correctly that you're saying that that's a cortisol circuit, that the people that are doing that never satisfied? Is it a faulty cortisol?
It's not faulty, it's the norm. And
Oh,
I'll explain it, because if you were a lion and you're trying to chase a gazelle, lions fail most of the time when they chase a gazelle.
yep.
And you may see on nature videos that they go for days and days without eating. And they can only catch a gazelle on a full tank of energy. So if they run after something and then they don't get it, then they got to really rest for a while. And if they're already starving and haven't eaten for days, that's horrible. So if you're chasing that gazelle and you hate to give up because you already put so much effort into it, but if you keep chasing a gazelle and it's really getting further and further away, then you're worse off. So our brain has a valuable tool for saying, you got to give up now. So that's what disappointment tells the lion. No matter how much you want that gazelle, it's gotten away, so you better give up now. It's, oh darn, I missed it, I hate to give up. So it has to feel bad enough to stop you from wasting any more effort on that particular chase.
But
And
then
that's
we definitely need discretion though, because that's where sometimes resilience comes in. Like you have to know when to quit, and when is just like you got to keep going. You're almost there, right?
exactly, and it's so hard. And
Yeah.
so and all my books explain, cortisol builds a huge neural pathway. Anything that hurt you before builds a huge pathway, because our Stone Age ancestors, they raised their children with fire going all the time and little kids running around the fire. So once something hurts you, it builds a huge pathway, so you want to stay away from it. So anything that disappointed you in the past built a huge pathway. So now every time I think about, let's say, getting more likes or more followers, but then I have this fear that if I don't get more likes or more followers, I'm going to go back to that worst moment in my life that built that huge pathway that says you're a total loser and you're never going to get anywhere, because that's what builds the biggest circuit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.